Hey everybody, tuning into a not so special FreeMatt podcast. We had originally recorded this actually together at General Patrick Flynn's vacation home. Bad news. I somehow, stupid fingers, decided to erase it. Couldn't find it. Had 20 seconds of video. Uh, we'll get on to the rat killing. There's not as much social commentary here, but we sure as hell can laugh about it. The article we had used was it was from Reason.com. It was August the 7th, 2019, just a couple days ago. The article is titled "Vox Misses the Mark on Video Games and Gun Deaths." Um, Here's the weird thing. I will get into my solutions about gun deaths and trying to steer us away from gun control because I don't think that's the good thing. I don't think it's what's heading us in the right direction. But here, folks. Scott Shackford hooked us up on the author in there. It said following the weekend's mass shootings, Reason has been a vocal critic of fact-free attempts to blame real-world violence on video games. Meanwhile, others have turned to data manipulation as they try to pivot the argument back toward gun control, measures that would violate American Second Amendment rights as surely as video game censorship would violate the First. On Monday, Vox published a graph calling the U.S. an outlier, and that was in quotations, in gun deaths among countries with lots of gamers, which quickly made the rounds on social media. It said this data doesn't appear to be inaccurate, but there are a couple things worth noting here. First, they deliberately chose to compare game revenue not with total homicide rates, but specifically with all gun deaths, including suicides. That's noteworthy. In actuality, in actuality, less than half of the gun deaths show up on that chart for the United States are homicides. America's recent increase in gun-related deaths is being driven by suicides, not homicides. I'm not saying it is anything to celebrate. Suicides, it's a bad thing. It's a culture issue. It's, people are finding it more appealing to take their own lives or given reasons to take their own lives. It's not good. I don't believe in taking your own life unless it is for some benevolent reason. It's like running into a flaming building and saving kids, or jumping on a grenade to save a squad or something like that. The those Japanese guys that 50, 60-year-old guys that ran over and started working on the Fukushima plant. They were getting cancer and dosed with the god awful amount of radiation. Um, it also went on to mention that second, this chart leaves out one major video game market, Brazil. You might remember that Terry Gilliam film, Brazil. Guy was daydreaming. I guess he was daydreaming about flying through the air and this woman or something. It says Brazil is the largest game market in Latin America and currently ranks 13th worldwide in game industry revenue. Also, Brazil is named after the nut. The nut is not named after the country. I'll find a quote for that. I'll find it for you. Leave it down in another video. It says America's gun violence rate absolutely pales in comparison to Brazil's. Brazil also supposedly has hotter women, but I really don't know if the American woman hates my facts. American woman doesn't like these articles. Says if Vox had included Brazil on the chart, it would have to change the scale completely. Oh, Lord. It said Brazil had 3 times as many gun homicides as the U.S. in 2017. about 43,000, that's 43 with 3 zeros behind it, compared to 15,500 in the U.S. None of this is evidence that video games actually do contribute to violence in Brazil or in the United States. Rather, the way Vox approached this gun violence data was designed to make the U.S. appear to be an outlier among all countries. In reality, Brazil is a country with a similar love of video games and a much worse gun violence problem. There, just as in America, people blame the problem on too much gun access, even though the country has strict gun controls that criminals just bypass. You're welcome. You'll find a way to mangle somebody. You will find a way to rob people. If you hate somebody, you'll find a weapon. A gun is a tool. I've said that in the hands of the right kind of people, a gun is a tool. I mean, in the right hands of people, in the hands of the right kind of people, it's a tool. It's a weapon to a lot of others. Now, I want people to, this is one thing where we're going to go into the gun control element of it. Obviously, I'm not for gun control. I think the cure for these mass shootings and these crimes, these real media noteworthy crimes, there are people on the margins. Note I didn't just say men, but there are people on the margins of society. They're yearning for something, and they're yearning to have some element of control. They want to be, I don't want to say they want to be in charge, but they want to be the boss, or they want to have some control. And one of these things is there's a lot of people, they want to be noteworthy, want to be known for something, and they don't feel like they can do that through public service or charity. They don't feel like they can do it in the military. They don't feel like they can be known in competitive natures. A lot of them feel that they're hiding. They the only thing they can do is hide, and then they act out like this. And people ask me, it's, what's wrong? And I said, it's not mental illness, as much as I'd love to blame mental illness. It is soul sickness. It is the fact that we are lacking in empathy. We're lacking in the ability to understand other people's feelings. We're not a community. We're falling apart when we're supposed to be a part of a community. And there are people that are on the margins. They're slipping through. Yeah, we have to start caring about people. I have to think. We have to think outside of our spheres of this me stuff. You have to think what's surrounding you. A big part of you is other people. And I know people think it's funny. It sounds like some type of hippie bullshit, but it's true. You are a part of a community. And pardon, that little ear itch here, but there are other people hurting. There's people around you that have problems. There are people that have anxieties. I run into people all the time, and I know what sick family members, or trying to remember how they're going to get food on the table, or looking for meaning. I mean, all sorts of things. And the thing is that a portion of us don't care anymore, and we either have some type of rotten idea of who we are compared to other people, and it drives us to do things that are to the detriment of other people, and even to the detriment of their lives. And I think that's the building block on what's wrong. I mean, I look at a lot of these things that happen, and it just feels, that's what it feels like. It's a soul sickness. I mean, the gun, it's a tool. I will say this much, guys. If you feel like you have a mental illness or you're having problems, seek help. Seek help from professionals. As much as I have a problem with people, the pharmaceutical industry, the people that pump out drugs every time you feel bad. But here's the thing. I want you to seek counseling. Seek the wisdom in somebody else who is more knowledgeable in how to handle things like that. Obviously I want you to meditate. I want you to exercise. I want you to do everything in your power to, break these cycles and these methods and how you think. And we just need to, it's not that we need to be, we need to be better in our mindset. It's not, your mental state. It's your mind. It's who you are. And that's all of us. And I guarantee you the soul sickness thing is real. Lack of empathy is real. The not being a part of a community, it's not even a lone wolf. A lone wolf knows there's other wolves. Sometimes these people become the only thing in their world. And I would strongly suggest against this stuff. I struggle with stuff like this. But I tell people I have to be I'm mindful. I'm mindful of other people. I generally speaking don't troll. I know other people say you do, but the thing is I just got on with my life, and yeah, I'll be the first to admit I don't accept the hyperbolic statements of other people. I don't think I don't think gun control is a good idea. I also don't think that pumping people full of meds is a great idea. I think we need to be people again. That is a solution that I don't hear hardly anybody talking about. I mean, hey, you're more than welcome to leave it in the comment section. I will say this much. I did crack a few jokes in the other video. I didn't, what's the best way to describe this? I forgot most of it. Had a blast talking about it. But if I can ask you to do one thing, please love one another. Do your best to be, a backbone of the community. Try to reach out to people that are slipping. It's not that I want you to be sympathetic, but try to understand where people might be coming from. You don't have to agree with them. I think we need to stop knocking people down. Yeah, my humor lost in time, but crap. All right, folks, remember to subscribe, hit the notification bell. It's down there somewhere. Please ignore the gimpy finger. It's down there somewhere. Follow me on Twitter at FreeMatt Podcast. You can send all your hate email to freemattpodcast@gmail.com. I do have a Gab and backup BitChute, but I do encourage you guys to just send me some hate mail. I mean, put it in the comments, whatever. All right? Take care of yourself.